Hello, everyone. So today we are going to be going over the executive branch in depth. So this is the paper that you should have received. This paper is going to be different than our other days. As you can see, we're going to be creating a flip book. So the first thing that we're going to do is the paper does not have us color. If you want to color, you can add some color. There's not really a lot of places to add color, but if you'd like to, go ahead. So after you color, if you choose to, we are going to take our scissors and we're going to cut. Now, be very careful when we're cutting this one out. So our first page of our flip book is going to be this page at the bottom. We are just going to cut like this. And do not cut the top part off. That's going to be our flap, okay? That's going to be where we're gluing. So we're going to be cutting all these out into little boxes. So this is going to be day 1. And then as you can see on your paper, there's numbers on the other boxes. So if you find the 2, that's going to be the second day. But you can cut them in any order because that's just the way that we're going to be gluing them. I'm just going to cut them out in order so I don't get them mixed up. There's day 2. Now I'm cutting out day 3. Not day 3, but our third flap of our book, okay? There we go. And then our final flap is going to be 4, which is going to be the longest one. Okay. Perfect. So we don't need the scraps and we're done using our scissors. So we should have 4 little pieces of paper, okay? Now, we're just going to look at this one first and we're going to read what it says. So it says the executive branch of government. The executive branch is in charge of enforcing the laws made by the legislative branch of the government, okay? Now we're going to find 2. 2 says requirements to run for government. So we're going to write what the requirements to run for government is. So according to the Missouri Constitution, you must be 30 years old, you must be a United States citizen for 15 years, and you must be a resident of Missouri for 10 years. So let's go ahead and write those. So I'm just going to do little points, and I'm going to say must be 30 years old. Okay, our next one says a United States citizen for 15 years. And then our last one says, this is supposed to be a D, oops, a United States citizen for 15 years. And then the last one says a resident of Missouri for 10 years. So those are the requirements to run for governor. 3, must be 30 years old, a United States citizen for 15 years, and a resident of Missouri for 10 years. Okay, so that's page 2. Let's go to 3. So this one says responsibilities of the governor. Okay, so let's see what we're going to write here. So facts about the governor. I'm just going to go through them first, and then we're going to figure out what we should write. Facts about the governor. They serve a 4-year term. They can only serve 2 terms. They can sign bills into law or can veto them They can appoint judges, can activate the National Guard in state emergencies, Commander-in-Chief of the Missouri National Guard, and they can choose directors for state agencies. So what are we looking for here? We need to make sure we know what we're looking for. So it says responsibilities of the governor. So let's see. We said can sign bills into law or can veto them. Let's write that. So I'm going to do another point. Can sign bills into law or can veto them. The next one, appoints judges. They can activate the National Guard. In state emergencies. And then Commander-in-Chief of the Missouri National Guard. And then our last one says chooses directors for state agencies. So we're going to end with that one. Chooses directors for state agencies. Okay, so let's read over those one more time if you didn't get them. Can sign bills into law or can veto them. They can appoint judges. They can activate the National Guard in state emergencies, Commander-in-Chief of the Missouri National Guard, and they can choose directors for state agencies. So that's what the responsibility of the governor is. So I'm just putting these over like this because that's how we're going to glue them down, okay? So then find where it says for, and this has some fill in the blanks. So let's go over what we're going to write in the fill in the blanks. So the governor has other people who help them run the state. They include the lieutenant governor, the secretary governor, the state treasurer, the state auditor, and the attorney general. So if you have a pencil or it's already underlined, but I'm going to highlight all the key people. So lieutenant governor, secretary of state, state treasurer, state auditor, attorney general. Okay, so these are the members of the executive branch. So now we're going to take our pen or pencil, whatever you've been writing with, and we're going to fill in the blank. So it says, acts as governor when the governor is blank or blank. Can act as governor when needed, when the governor is absent or disabled. So our first blank is absent or disabled. Okay. Our next one says Secretary of State. Registers blank in Missouri and administers elections. Registers businesses. Businesses. Okay. Our next blank, State Treasurer. The state's chief blank officer manages Missouri's money. The state's chief financial officer manages Missouri's revenue and investments. So let's say financial. Okay. The next one, state auditor. Make sure that state's tax money is being spent blank. We're going to write wisely here. Attorney General acts as the blank for the state of Missouri in legal matters. Acts as the attorney's lawyer. Acts as the lawyer. So let's go over these one more time. acts as governor when the governor is absent or disabled, Secretary of State, registers businesses in Missouri and administers elections. State Treasurer, the state's chief financial officer, manages Missouri's money. State Auditor, makes sure the state's tax money is being spent wisely. Attorney General, acts as the lawyer for the state of Missouri in legal matters. So those are the members of the executive branch. That's going to be 4 of our flip book. So let's see. 1, 2, and you're going to line them up. Do you see those lines and how they meet? We're going to line those up. So this is the first one, 2, 3, and 4. Now, this is what it's going to look like when it's all done gluing. But I'm going to start by gluing 4 down first. Okay? Now, pay close attention because this is kind of tricky. We're going to take our glue stick and we are going to put glue on the whole thing. Only on 4, okay? Only on 4. So, we glue 4 down all the way. Okay? Then, we see 3. We're going to line it up with 4 at the top for this bar. We are only going to put glue where it says 3 on the other side. So, watch how I do it. Glue only on the top so it can flip open and we can read what we have wrote. So only on the top, only on the top. And then we'll be able to flip open, okay? Then we're going to find 2 and we're going to do the same exact thing. Line it up with 3 and only put glue on the top like this.